La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol en la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol en la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy pre-launch to As Ever Day. Now, I don't know if it's going live UK midnight time or US midnight time. Probably US midnight time. Megan said one more sleep on her gram, and she literally posted in the last hour. So we're gonna get into the good stuff first, the stuff that actually matters first, and then we will get into all of the rest, because today is a happy day. No, this is not an April Fool's joke. Megan will be launching As Ever tomorrow, and we'll see how good the website servers are. I hope they've got strong servers. The people want they jam. Okay? Since we're at midnight Pacific time, yeah, probably. All right, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's start with the positive stuff. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you for all our new subscribers that are streaming in. More and more people finding us, which is great. All right. So yes, Megan just posted this. Megan here. It may be April Fool's Day, but we aren't joking. Tomorrow is the big day. Thank you to my OG TIG girls, including Hannah, who gifted this piece all the way from New Zealand. It means as ever in Maori. Grateful for each and every one of you, the countdown begins. And she put some pictures from the With Love Megan launch party that she went to in New York with some of the OG TIG followers. And also this photo from As Ever. She's been keeping it very cutesy, especially on the As Ever official Instagram. Just like, you know, vegetables, fruits, very Instagrammy, very Pinteresty, just pics and just giving us the aesthetics of the brand. And here are the brand items. I think the first things that I'm going to be going for whenever it's available in the UK is peppermint, the flower sprinkles, because I'm sure they're going to be very good grade sprinkles. I was looking at flower sprinkles online, but I was just a little bit hesitant to buy just because, you know, you don't know what the suppliers are, like what kind of fertilizers they've used in the flowers. There is actually a black-owned company in the US that the family actually grows these flowers organically on their farm. So if I can remember where I put the link for that, I will share that. But I'm very excited to get Megan's because I just know they're going to be good quality. And also, I think later on, I'll go for the honey. The crepe mix also, I'm very excited to try the crepe mix just because I have never been able to make a decent pancake or crepe. Like I've tried to buy like, you know, better pans. I've tried the flat round pans that are meant to be really good specifically for crepes, and I just can't get it right. And I've tried like crepe and pancake mixes as well. So I'm hoping Megan's crepe mix is dummy proof. I will be very interested to see um whether or not international shipping is included right away. You know, she does have Netflix as a partner, so I don't see why they wouldn't have the capacity for that kind of distribution, but they may just start in the US. And I will just absolutely laugh my head off if I'm walking through in a couple of months' time, if I'm walking through Tesco's or maybe some of the organic chains and stores here, and I see Megan's products here in the UK. Like hardy ha 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 to the haters, because I 100% I believe that's going to happen. Like they're not just going to be selling this through the website, they're going to have wider distribution. So I think this will definitely be a good choice. I mean, no, Tesco's does sell some high end, like mid high end products, like premium stuff, and I consider this like mid premium, and they do sell stuff like this. Um, and then also I'm seeing it in some of the independent stores, and depending on the grading of the products, maybe some like Whole Foods and organic stores. So very excited about that. She also posted this lovely picture of her and Mia. This was from the product shoot, all of these really cool product shoots that we've been seeing. We also got another As Ever email. If you are not subscribed to the As Ever email list, why not? Please go to asever.com and sign up. She said, ever since I can remember, I've been dreaming up easy ways to elevate the everyday into the exceptional. I always knew that I wanted to turn these ideas into something real and to make beautiful items that spark connection and celebrate quiet, meaningful moments, maybe mimic the magic of Montecito in a way you can recreate at home. I'm so excited to introduce the As Ever collection to you this week. Every item is inspired by ways I show care to the people in my life, like the lemon ginger tea blend, which is a fuss-free spin on the warm drink I make at home using fresh lemons from the garden, or the crepe mix that transforms a typical weekend breakfast into a chance to reminisce. Crepes remind me of my time backpacking through France as a student. Biting into these street side thin pancakes filled with chocolate, fruit, fresh lemon, and powdered sugar, all made savory from ham and cheese. They are truly a canvas of flavor. I wanted to bring that memory and experience to you at home. Also, they're easy to make. I hope so, because I'm so bad at it. So it's just so nice to get that insight about the brand. Like it's really coming from the heart and from, you know, a collection of memories and moments throughout her life. And I think you can really see that in the branding and the brand story. Of course, you'll find the raspberry spread that started it all presented in a keepsake packaging that you can repurpose to tuck away love notes or special treasures. And to remember this pivotal moment with me, think of it as our time capsule. And by the way, once you've enjoyed every spoonful of this fruit spread, you may want to do what I do, rinse the jar and use it as a small vase for your nightstand or to hold pens in your desk. I hope when you see what I've worked so hard to create, you're encouraged to know that whatever life brings, you can do it too. Your value, your creativity, your joy, that is you as it always as it's always been and always will be. You are as ever and forever. Someone once told me the biggest risk you can take is deciding not to take one at all. Now, after careful planning and preparation, while also parenting, it's time to bring as ever from my home to yours so you can make every day exceptional in an easy yet meaningful way. As ever, Megan. Beautiful, beautifully written. Right, Lightside is here with us today. Sorry, folks, I kicked myself out of the podcast by accident. I was saying, I'm back. Lightside is here with me today. And Lightside, anything to say so far? What are you excited about?
The jam, the
Ja-
raspberry jam. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I love crepes, so I might get that also. Um,
mhm.
but definitely jam, and I think I want the cute little container that it's in. I think she calls it like the collectible because you can order it with just the jam itself, or you can get it in that cute little holder, right?
Mm,
But I would like to have something that has M's calligraphy on it.
yeah,
I think that would be kind of nice to have. Um,
yeah.
will be getting up early in the morning to place my order. Hey, look, you guys saw me in the chat. You guys leave me some jam, okay? We all got to
Mhm.
spread the love a little bit. So please think about the rest of us.
Ba-dum-tum.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy that this is coming to fruition for her.
Yeah.
As you know, I can't keep up with everything. You, however, my dear, are so quick with the posts. Sometimes I see your posts before I see Megan's. And that's when I know to go over and check and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're on like some alert list or something, but
Yeah, you should get
ah,
switch on alerts for Megan's posts.
yeah, maybe I should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Julia, it's gonna be a jam off. It's gonna be a jam off. I mean,
jam off.
I saw the video of the, you know, did you see the factory video?
The factory video of
Yeah,
where
where they're
she's
making the jam.
no. Are you gonna play it for
Yeah.
us? Can you play it for us or no?
I don't, do you know, I don't think I have it here with me.
Ah,
Do I maybe
okay.
still have that slide? No, I don't have that slide. But yeah, they showed okay, if you go to the as ever or I don't know if she posted it on the as ever or on her Megan one, but you saw like the
Okay.
behind the scenes of the actual factory where they're bottling the jam, and it
Mhm.
looked like they are making loads. So I think there'll be enough to go around.
And oh, one other thing in regards to the shipment. I think she already has the UK covered. How could she not? Her man's from there. Okay. I know I'm not the only
Yeah.
one who thinks that. So I think you guys are good. You're gonna get your jam. You're gonna get your
Okay. I
crepes.
hope so.
You're gonna get everything. Okay.
I
So
mean,
don't worry about that.
payday was literally yesterday, so I hope so.
We
I hope
worked
so.
to get M's jam and crepes and tea.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited to
Exactly.
see this happen. I really am. I think that we we're cautious. We're cautious. I don't think there's anything wrong with her support fan base and the Sussexes fan base being cautious because we've seen in the past that a lot of times when there's something good, when she shows up and she is dressed to a T at an event or when Harry's out, when they're both out, something from the other side comes into the ether in the media to
Mm,
try to distract from everything good that's going on. So, I think that she has her stuff lined up. I cannot wait for her podcast to also get released. I think that's coming up really soon as well. So we have so
Yeah,
much
the
good
date.
stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
much good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, so much good stuff, and all this absolute nonsense would have just been for nothing. I mean, I've also just forgotten this slide as well. Megan also posted this. She was cooking in her kitchen, showing us like the behind the scenes of making the packaging. So you can really see that she's put her heart and soul into this, and I'm just so happy that we're here because all of this upheaval that we're seeing is partly just to slow this down. And this week she said, no, I'm not slowing down. We had a plan. We're going ahead. You go play your games. You've been playing them for 8 years. What's new? The jam is rolling out.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. And she's a go-getter, and we know this about her. She's hardworking. You know what? You said something about her backpacking in France earlier. I did not know that. I know she went to South America, right? That's where she learned. Is that right? Spanish?
yeah,
South
she
American
learned
Spanish?
Spanish.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I did not know she went to France
Mhm.
also and did that. But yeah. She it just shows you like she is a worldly person, right? Like curious
Yes.
about cultures and different
Yes.
things. And I think in everything that she's seen, I can imagine that she brings some of that those cultural experiences also to the creation of her products and the energy that she puts
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's as ever. That is coming. Also on Harry's side, Invictus. Bidding process for the Invictus 2029 is officially underway, and the Invictus Foundation is now accepting expressions of interest from prospective host cities. Deadline 16th of May 2025. So, yeah, I remember at the last Invictus, not the not the Winter Games, but the one before that. I think it was Dusseldorf. South Korea was very, very interested, and I think also Italy was very interested. So I reckon it will probably come down to those two countries. Um, Preference? Where would we prefer if it came down to those two? Where would we prefer it was South Korea or Italy? Light side?
Well, Italy's number one for me because Italy's been on my list to visit for a long time. I could just kill two birds with one stone. Go to
Mm,
Invictus, see Italy, enjoy the food, which is also super important for me.
mm,
But yeah, I think my bias is towards Italy. However, I know that South Korea was, like you said, in the top runnings. This
yeah.
last, yeah. So I mean, I'd be okay if they also got it. Good excuse to go to South Korea, also. So hey, equal
Mm.
opportunity employer over here.
Lovely. Okay, and also on Harry's side, Travelist, he recorded a video from his home. I didn't get a moment to actually upload it. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow, but I think Baron played it in his. And they have been doing amazing, so much growth. Um, so their 5-year milestone report highlights that their coalition what their coalition has achieved since their founding, taking stock of the industry's work towards becoming more resilient and sustainable, and sets out plans for the future. And they have over 13 partners representing a combined market value of 3 trillion in 2005, compared to 5 partners representing a combined market value of 500 billion back in 2009. That is incredible growth. Incredible growth. And I think it just shows the range and diversity of all of the different pots and baskets Meghan and Harry have their hands and feet in. They've really spread themselves out. And I think these are, on the one hand, genuinely things that they're passionate about, but they're also, just increasing their business links, their name, their brand away from the royal family, away from the firm, and also, not so much Travelist, but their actual money making business ventures, multiple streams of income. So that is all the good stuff out of the way. Before we get on to I don't want to call it the drama, but before we get on to that, was there anything else that you want to say, Lightside?
Negative. No, please. I am holding my tongue right now. I can't wait for you to dive in.
Oh, actually, no. I do have one. I do actually have one more positive thing. One more positive. Let's not forget this. How dare I? How dare I? So today, from the Halo Trust, delegation of ambassadors will trace Princess Diana's footsteps in Huambo, Angola, where Halo's demining has transformed the area beyond recognition. So that's what it looked like when Diana walked there. It's now a road, proper paved road. In 1997, Diana walked through what was a minefield. It was a walk that forced the world to stand up and take notice. I mean, I feel like I mean, I wasn't um I don't even know if I was born at this point. No, 1997. Yeah, I was born. What am I talking about? But I don't like remember. I wasn't old enough to remember it. Is what I was trying to say. Um, and I don't think I appreciated the scale and just the shock of what she did at the time. I can appreciate it now, especially understanding the way the weapons industry operates and what's going on in the world now. But at that time, this pissed a lot of people off, especially people in the political space, people who have a vested interest in weapons. And I think there's, as the years have gone by, people have a greater appreciation for what um, Diana did, and that Harry followed in her footsteps. And over the following decades, Halo cleared thousands of mines. The minefield where Diana walked is now home to a school named in her honor. Halo has worked in Angola since 1994, clearing entire cities, provinces, railways, and airports, bringing prosperity to millions. I've never been to Angola, but I did visit Cambodia, where they also have an issue with mines because of the genocide that happened there. And I visited a center where they actually train these rats, or they call them the hero rats, to spot the mines, to sniff out the mines. So if you ever get an opportunity to go to one of these countries and actually learn about the process and an incredible work that these people do, very dangerous work that these people do, and actually learn about the history, please do. It really gives you a really deep perspective about life and what these people who are going through these regimes and times went through. So just to pay a moment of respect to Diana.
So, Anne, really quickly, are you telling me that
Yeah.
during the time that Princess Diana was walking through this field, that there was a chance that it could be live? Um,
Ar-
yeah.
yeah. I mean, at least around the area.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would have likely done their best to just clear that one walkway area, but definitely around in that area, you can see there's still, you know,
Yeah.
there's still
And do you
signs.
think,
One.
yeah, the
Go
little
ahead.
red triangles in the back, right? Marking
Mhm.
certain areas off. So, do you think that the upset or the anger from certain groups came from the fact that she was such a high profile individual bringing attention to this issue?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, you got to remember, this is 1997. This is the Tony Blair government. Tony Blair has made a lot of money from the war in Iraq, and his stocks and shares in the weapons industry. So for sure, it would have, pissed, people in the higher ups up. Sorry, pissed people in the higher ups off. But also, just the fact that nobody else in the royal family would do something like this.
Yeah, very true.
that,
Very true.
that
Mhm.
also, I mean, this really put her on on the radar in a way that no one else in the royal family had been at the time, and nobody else would do this. Charles wouldn't do
Yeah.
this.
This
And there was
woman
no, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say this woman has fire or had fire in her soul clearly.
Yeah.
Because that was brave. Look, I
Yeah.
mean, I think a lot of the times, the powerful and people who have privilege would rather not put themselves in certain situation or even be attached to any kind of controversy, right? Why deal with the
Yeah.
headache? And she, I think people can see her charity work and her involvement in many communities in situations like this and can see that She was a brave one. I have to say that. I mean,
Yeah.
I was too young to at the time to even know about any of this stuff, but yeah, really a lot of respect is all I have to say.
Yeah, because it's I think for good-hearted people, they look at this and go, this is a human rights issue. But for the powers that be, this is very much a political issue, and royals certainly at the time would not so overtly anyway get involved in politics.
Yeah, got it.
All right, on to the next thing. Now, obviously, in my last podcast, I commented on the Sky interview with Sophie Chandauka and tried to dissect a lot of the stuff that she was saying. Now, since then, more and more holes have appeared in her story, and people are starting to really question, including even some parts of the um, media, even right-wing media. GB News actually posted about the fact that one of William's links is now on the board, and I think today the Telegraph said that Sophie is using the race card. They specifically used that term. I think people in the media are realizing that this woman is a liar, and they may not be able to weaponize this against Harry for much longer if the truth comes out. Harry and his people so far, and also Prince Ciso, have been very quiet. They've said nothing since the initial statement, and even in the initial statement, it was pretty brief. There have been some, board members kind of speaking to the press to kind of push back, but otherwise quite quiet. Um, and I do think this is actually a very good tactic, because I think that it's probably made Sophie panic a bit. I think the Sky interview was an absolute terrible idea, because as you're about to see, she is contradicting herself in so many ways. There's also some other things I didn't really say in my last podcast that only really came to my mind afterwards. And some of you have comments about this um, on my last video. Also, one of the things that how ridiculous is it for someone who's chairwoman of a charity to be throwing a tantrum about a celebrity coming to her event when you literally need attention to be on your event to be able to attract donors? And yes, donors, wealthy people, like to hang around celebrities, and celebrities are sometimes the donors themselves. How utterly ridiculous. How also ridiculous for you to be throwing up a stink about one of the founder's wives being there. That is literally his wife. And she was complaining about Meghan's famous friend, that famous friend being Serena, being there, when here she is trying to cozy up to the girlies. I said this in my last podcast, and I'm still convinced of this. I think this lady thought that she could get into the inner circle of the Sussex circle. And they had begun to realize there's something about her that just isn't right. If you're, especially, as a woman, if you're a girl's girl, the girls who aren't. And I get the feeling that they were probably very suspicious of this woman once it got to this point. The fact that she seemed so stuck on this particular event. And here she is, smiling and laughing, trying to get in the circle. She didn't seem like she was complaining then. And then there's also this video that's now resurfaced of her on the day, speaking highly of the fact that Netflix was there. She also said something very interesting, and I want you to watch out for this, when she says she hasn't had a chance yet to meet the children, Lily and Archie. Why do you want to meet their kids? I mean, I know that, there are some people within the Sussex circle that are also, close friends, and they have at their home. But that's for them that's for them to decide who they allow that close and who they don't. And so why are you obsessed as a chairwoman of this charity with whether or not you get to see the kids? And clearly she hadn't been able to see the kids up and at that point. And she's been involved with Sentebale for a while. She's known Harry for a while. So it's just very obvious that she wasn't really being allowed as close into the circle as I think that she wanted to be. A lot of people are also saying that she could have had a thing for Harry, and she had some, you know, delusions of grandeur that she was going to be the next Camilla. Some people feel that. She forgot that Harry is the exception to the Windsor rule. Harry is not leaving the woman who stopped the conveyor belt. Don't be ridiculous. So there's also that theory that this is truly just a scorned woman. I also just want to say, before I play this video, I do think we're perhaps giving her way too much credit in terms of how smart she is. Con artists are very slick. They're the slickest. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're smart, especially when they get too confident. Especially when their actions, I think, are coming from a place of emotion, especially if this is someone who is feeling like a scorned woman who's delusional and her fantasy fairy tale didn't come to life. People can do all kinds of strange things. So it's not necessarily that she's smart. And right now she's all over the place. By the way, also deleted her Twitter. And some of her associates are also deleting their social media. We'll get to that in a second as well. If you've got nothing to hide, why are you running away? Why are you deleting your Twitter? Why are you constantly editing your Wikipedia page? Her Wikipedia page has changed multiple times. Girl, the internet is forever. We can literally see the history of the Wikipedia page. One of the first things she edited was that she previously worked for companies where she was involved in hostile takeovers. And it seems like the same rulebook is being played here. Now, I've rambled on quite a bit, but let me play the video and then we can continue. This is from the polo match.
Even had a chance to celebrate the wedding in Africa. We haven't an opportunity to meet the kids, and so a lot of us are really looking forward to the opportunity to do so when the time comes.
We have Netflix here filming the match. How exciting is that for the charity?
It's great platform and profile. The Netflix brand is globally recognized, and any opportunity to tell the story of Sentebale in the context of a global brand such as Netflix is obviously exciting for us.
There you go. Sorry, I was clearing my throat at the end there. Lightside, I'll let you jump in before I start
talking. Girl. Let's break that little clip down just a little bit, right? Do you guys remember when we last year during the time when the polo match was going on and we saw this other elegant Black woman, right? And we were just all about like the empowerment and the visibility, the optics of the whole thing. I'm like, great, they're working with not just certain people, with everyone. It's inclusive. And I was really happy to see her, didn't pick up on anything at the time. And, just thinking positively about the collaborations and whatnot. In this clip that you just showed, there are a couple things that I am sure you and some of the squaddies have noticed. Right? She mentioned something about being potentially able to see the kids, and we're all excited at one point to be able to do that. In my head, I'm thinking, well, now that we're on this side of it, now I'm thinking, okay, you wanted to see the kids. Why? Because you wanted to hopefully get photos with the kids and do what after that? With this kind of with what we know about Harry and Meghan, we understand when and why their circles are small and are kept small. It's for protection. It's for good reasons, right? No one's questioning anything. Like, we're not the ones out here asking for Lily's photo or for any of the baby's photos whatsoever. We're not asking for Archie's update and has he grown any whatever. We don't care about that. We understand why we haven't seen the kids and why we haven't seen their faces, because they are being protected. And whenever that time comes for them to be exposed, that time will come whenever they decide that they're ready to be exposed, and that's it. So why is it that you're so invested in thinking, oh, one day this may potentially. It's a very peculiar thing to mention at that
Yeah.
moment, especially in lieu of the fact that there's commentary that she made saying that we didn't know she was coming, meaning she is in referring to Megan. Why would
Mm,
she not be there?
mm,
Right? Why would she not be there? And then the only other thing I'm going to mention, and I'm going to let you jump in and say whatever your piece is, when she mentioned Netflix and how global Netflix was and any opportunity for a global organization to spread the word of Sentebale and like the charity organization and get exposure, would you not also look at that same situation in thinking about any type of a celebrity association or celebrity friend that would come in that you may
yeah.
have contact with as building a bridge and potentially, I don't know, creating a platform and a bond and a
Yeah.
network of using that talent and using their networks to also spread word about your charity and organization? Where is the difference between the two?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very, very good points made. Thank you very much, Lightside. And also, for Megan's security, even if it was the case that they didn't know, Megan was coming until last minute, we know the situation with Megan's security. So how are you not sensitive to that, and how are you making it about yourself? Also, another video emerged of this is Harry at I think this was the art event that didn't make any money, and I believe that Harry actually missed the Tyler Perry um function for this event that never made any money. That's Sophie there in wearing leather pants and some gold high heels, and Harry leans in for a hug. So and there's so many pictures like this, um and it just doesn't add up with her story. Also, because there was one other thing that I wanted to mention before I got onto this. Oh yes, her claiming that Harry was sinking the brand. Number one, we looked at the financials on my last podcast. You can go back. Even during COVID, the income to Sentebale increased, while the expenditure to get the donations stayed pretty steady, and was the expenditures was very respectable given the amount of money that they made. Oh, actually, no, here are the slides here. So in 2020, when they left, 2.3 million, they spent over 300,000 to get that money. 2021, huge jump, an extra million, 3.1 million, and they spent 500,000. And then in 2022, 4.4 million, and they spent 800,000. So they had steady, yes, they spent a little bit more each time, but they also had good growth. Now let's talk about the money, because it's getting very fishy with the money. Remember, I brought up in my last podcast also this Nadi Life Sciences, while some other fantastic private investigators in the squad have looked a little bit more into this, and who else is on the board. Now, Sophie's brother, Tinashi Chandauka, is on the board. This lady here, Sarah Essien, is also on the board. This is what Sarah posted on her Instagram, and I believe this lady has now deleted her gram. This is what she posted in October 28th, 2024. I recently had the privilege of helping organize a transformative mission for Sentebale, a charity for youth in Southern Africa founded by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and Prince Yiso. At the beginning of October, we traveled to Lesotho and South Africa, witnessing the incredible work Sentebale has been doing to create lasting community-driven impact. Africa is a big part of my history, my story, my heart, and I look forward to more opportunities to drive impact into the continent. Honey, your next opportunity is going to be to flaunt your finest fashions walking into the jailhouse. If it comes out that Sophie was funneling money to this woman and her brother, who was also hired as a consultant. I'm going to play a video for y'all, and then I'll have light side up, and then we can discuss.
So they always tell you to follow the money when it comes to scandals. So let's scroll here. This is a business called Nandi Life Sciences, which is supposed to have been started by one Miss Sophie Chandauka. I hope I said her name right. And her brother, Tinashe Chandauka. So these two right here are siblings. I don't know the pecking order. But something interesting about Brother Darius here. Now, Brother here has a CV too, where he is listed as from 2023 to 2024 being one of the consultants at Sentebale. And just like dear sister here, he loves name dropping Prince Harry. He doesn't even mention Prince Cieso when he mentions that he works for the founding charity, the charity founded by Prince Harry. And then it gets even more interesting. This woman right here, lovely, isn't she? This is Sarah. Sarah also is on this team, but Sarah was also hired as a consultant for, you guessed it, Sentebale. Now, I'm going to say something wildly unpopular. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out, and I don't know who these people are. They're just here. The unpopular situation is that a lot of you don't believe that this woman is dumb. I think she's a very stupid woman. Not this woman right here. I think she's a moron. And I think she's a moron because you mean to tell me that you hired these two people for $600,000 for consultation. Unless there's more people involved, I don't know. No other names were involved, but it seems like these two were the main ones who are listing on their CVs that they were consultants for Sentebale. And it just so happens that this magical $300K that was floating around that Sophie claims that she was allotted or she deserved, if you break that up in two, you get that magic salary number. I just want to let people know that typically consultants don't make this type of money. They can make anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 because, as we know, when it comes to charity fundraising, it's all type of different layers to that. But this woman, when she gets exposed, she's in trouble because she did something with this money that I don't even think is legal. Like, I don't know if this is legal. I don't know. And it just so happens they work for your Nandi Sciences. You know what I think? I think she wanted Sentebale to fund her shit, and she was bleeding that charity to feed into this. Shame on her, and if I'm wrong, I will eat crow. But something's funky here. What do you guys think?
Light side?
Child. Let me tell you something. The one thing you do not want to mess with in 2025 is the internet. Okay? That is, I have to admit, those numbers are a little too clean in adding up to 600K for this to be just a coincidence. Now, we're going to say allegedly because we don't want any lawsuits over here. But if there is something going on behind the scenes where she was, in fact, trying to milk the charity for funds to fund this other organization, like you said earlier, and like this woman said, she's not that bright. Because if you are out there doing anything fishy remotely and you're going to mess with someone as high profile as Prince Harry, as Meghan Markle, Prince Sisu, I'm not going to leave him out. You have to be very, very ignorant. You have to be, I almost said something else. You have to be extremely ignorant because, like, I don't know how you as an individual think that you can get away with anything like this, not thinking that all this stuff is going to be dug up. There are internet people on the internet doing associations and correlations with stuff, there are real legal folks and investigators that can get real deep into things and find out some stuff. Okay, so if in fact this woman threw a fit and her feelings were hurt for God only knows what reason, because I think you mentioned this at one point, like there's something that might have flipped at that polo event, maybe shortly after. And I don't know at what point things went downhill, but you had a high profile individual that you could have taken a high road on, not saying you should sit there and get beat up and be abused or whatever. No one should ever be in that situation if that were actually the case. But seeing how Harry functions in his business endeavors, I doubt that that would be a situation where he would have deliberately done something that made this woman feel so victimized that she would come out and is basically attacking not only him, but his wife. Because I don't want people to negate how big of a deal it is that she actually just mentioned Megan's name. The wolves are out there hoping and salivating that her name would be mentioned, because even when the issue is Harry, they find a way to drag Megan's name into it.
Yeah.
It's a money pit
Always.
for them. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's so true. And the lady in the video was right. Follow the money. And it's all just getting very weird. I knew there was something about this Nardi Sciences, but I just hadn't quite put my finger on it. And now the Squaddy Detective Squad, it has really been on it. Carmen, you said follow the money. This is going to be revealing Sophia's dates are numbered. I believe that they are, because there's certain things that just aren't adding up. Yes, Sharon, these con artists wake up earlier than everyone else to run their game. Yeah, Jetstar, she's really effed up her life. I mean, I'm really struggling to even
Make sense
understand.
of this. Yeah.
Yeah, make sense of this, because if you're going to steal from a charity, and people do all the time and they get away with it all the time, Prince Harry's charity, like, this is why I said in my last podcast, was there 2-for-1 sale on Audacity at Amazon? Because
It was a
how
Prime Day event, girl. That's what it was.
it was a Prime Day event and they were doing 2-for-1 on Audacity at Amazon, because who does this at a high profile charity? Having said that, if this is the case, at least up until now, she's been getting away with it. So I think it's also perhaps going to be a huge wake up call to some people in this charity space, and I think to Harry and his team. DB, you said, and I think she is reading Sussex Squad comments and knows we are researching. Yeah, I mean, this is the Daily Felt right now. Lightside just sent this to me. Boss of Prince Harry Sentebale, I mean, she's not the boss, shuts down social media as she's trolled by Sussex Squad after accusing Duke of harassment and bullying. I mean, she should absolutely be trolled, because in all of this, Prince Theuso, and more importantly, the children who receive the benefits from Sentebale have been completely forgotten here. They've been completely forgotten. And albeit with the usual sarcasm, I think there was only that one writer for the Telegraph that made an effort to mention this. But they're all turning it into, oh, this is Harry's fault for bad governance and alleged bullying, instead of just saying it for what it is. A crook tried to play her games with Sentebale, and it is her fault that the people who benefit, the children who benefit from Sentebale, they've now been put in jeopardy. Now, I'm sure some very generous people are gonna step in. Like, if we started a fundraiser tomorrow, but my goodness, the Sussex Squad has raised a lot of money. And I'm sure there's other people that are now looking at this and going, what the hell? And they can see through all of this. But she has really not just put herself, thrown herself into a frying pan, just put other people in jeopardy as well. It's just so evil, and yeah, it's just so evil. And one other thing that I wanted to mention was this Mr. Ian Rawlingson. Now, it just so happens that he was at a Sentebale event in Southern Africa, in Johannesburg, on October 3rd. This is from Celeb Bitchy. Last October, Prince Harry travelled to Lesotho and South Africa to visit with his close friends and do some work and appearances around Sentebale. One of those events was the Sentebale Gathers Innovative Fund and Business Leaders discussion at the Saxon Hotel in Johannesburg, South Africa on October 3rd. Harry wore a nice suit and he glad handled all of the business needed, and there was lots of lovely photos. Now, I haven't found a photo of Harry with this guy. There was a Google executive and Olive CEO Stacey Boyd. I'm going to come back to that Stacey Boyd and the company that she runs in a moment. Ian Rawlinson was also there. He flew to Johannesburg to attend a Sentebale panel discussion. Why did this guy, who is affiliated with Prince William and sits on the board of the Tusk Trust, why did he feel the need to go? Now, he's a principal at Rawlinson Partners. I might Google that in a sec, see what they do. I don't believe his company is donating to Sentebale, but we'll look into this. Rawlinson is best known in royal circles as longtime ally to Prince William. He was chairman of the Tusk Trust for many years, and he's still on Tusk's advisory committee. Why was he sniffing around a Sentebale event last October, and why was Rawlinson one of the first people that Chandauka appointed as a new trustee once every one of the old Sentebale trustees resigned in protest of her? I know most of this stuff around Rawlinson was already in the Financial Times piece I covered over the weekend, but I just want to underline for everyone to see. Rawlinson was sniffing around Sentebale in October of last year. Maybe he already knew Chandauka. Maybe she was the one who invited him. We just don't know. Well, he invited himself, and he'll be interested to know why. But it's suspicious as hell that he was immediately appointed as a trustee on the very same day that Prince Harry and Prince Yuso resigned from the charity they started in their mother's honor. Instead of positioning this as Harry is broken-hearted that William's close ally is now part of Sentebale, perhaps people could acknowledge that it's absolutely bonkers that William is making these kinds of moves against a charity Harry founded nearly 20 years ago. Perhaps someone could ask what Chandauka has been promised by William and his allies in exchange for this completely despicable episode. Indeed, someone needs to ask her that question. Okay, Lightside, if you want to say anything before we okay. One other thing, one other very strange coincidence, and then we will continue. Sorry. Also, one of the other people who was appointed to the board, just a coincidence, could mean absolutely nothing. But this Dr. Margaret Ikpo, she was at Charles's garden party. Another Chandauka appointment to Sentebale Board of Trustees attended King Charles's garden party, which he hosted on the day Harry attended the 10th anniversary celebration of Invictus Games. So that's when they had the big ceremony at the St. James Cathedral. So it's a royal family takeover at Sentebale. I mean, we don't know that for sure yet, but it's interesting that she was there. And then she gets appointed on the board. Another very strange coincidence. Okay, I'll let Lightside speak, and then we've got a whole line of callers who want to speak also. So, sorry, Lightside.
Oh, can you hear me
again? Yeah.
Oh, so I was going to say something really quickly about something you mentioned in a prior podcast. And for some reason, it just has not been sitting on my chest very well. How she used the term the Sussex machine. Is that quote unquote
Yes.
what she said?
Yes.
I don't know who else thought about this, but I do not think she's referring to the Sussex's publication team and their media team. I
Yeah.
believe that from the get-go, they were talking about us, the Sussex squad. Because here's the reason. You have the textbook publication teams that work with organizations and people. They're responsible for getting stories out. They're responsible for having their people be in certain places at certain times. They are the professional, like, stand-up folks that do their jobs cleanly. We, on the other hand, not saying we're down dirty dogs or anything, but we are free thinking, non-paid, okay,
Mm,
individuals who are on our own, making our own decisions about certain situations. And we have become a powerful force for the last couple of years. They're terrified of us and think you guys already know that. You know,
mm,
like you said, we do fundraising events. We fight bullying online when it comes to
mm,
the UK media. They are terrified of us. The
mhm.
fact that they even mentioned the Sussex Squad in any of their publications should tell you enough.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that that is what she was referring to. Now, in regards to the other stuff that you mentioned about Rawlinson, looked it up really quickly. Rawlinson Partners, co-founded in 2005, coordinates businesses and charitable activities of Ian Rawlinson, focusing on leadership, advocacy, and innovation, with a particular
Mhm.
emphasis supporting social innovation in traditional boat building. Now, not a big deal, right? Okay, so charity connection there. However, Ian Rawlinson, partner at Rawlinson's Partners, has a strong connection to the British royal family, having served as the chair of Prince William's Tusk Trust from 2002 to 2013 and remaining an active volunteer. So, still directly connected
Mhm.
to Prince William. This was not, I just think it's really peculiar.
Yeah.
Very peculiar
Indeed.
because this is Harry's and Prince Soso's organization that they've built for so many years. It's his charity. This woman is brought in to be a cheer and to carry the organization because Harry is tied up in so many other things going on, right? And she just happened to have this connection to this person who, quote unquote, has experience with charitable organizations and businesses, and who just coincidentally has strong ties to the royal family, specifically Prince William.
Mhm.
I do not believe in
Very
coincidences. I don't believe in
no.
coincidences. So this is very strange, and if it comes down in a couple of years that all of a sudden we hear that there is support and funding coming from the royal family for Sentebale,
Mm.
I think we should take that as a finality that this was a hostile
Yeah.
takeover.
100%. 100%. The annoying thing though is that like when stuff like this comes out, it's like the damage gets done, and it's very very difficult to correct the lies when you have, this big headline in the Daily Fail: Harry involved in race row, Harry, accused of bullying and harassment.
And
The
being misogynistic too. I mean,
Yeah,
guys, these are trigger words. These are
yeah.
trigger words. Like, you cannot, if you were to line up all the things that you could possibly say in this date and era that would, to a male, a white male who comes from privilege,
Mhm,
and to accuse them of something, it would be the SA, or assault, or
mhm,
harassment, or bullying, or misogynist, right? Those are all
mhm.
trigger words. They're
Yeah.
trigger words because they incite something in us. They make us get fired up because we may know someone who's gone through something like this. We don't like to
Mhm,
see injustice happen to anyone. So they use it to get people triggered. And if you're someone that doesn't pay attention and is not reading between the lines, is easily manipulated by the media machine that is out there, as we know as the UK tabloid press.
mhm.
This is something that you're just going to absorb and not even take a
Yeah,
second to think about.
to think about it. Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, when I look at least the UK outlets, the comment section, like if you go or don't go to don't go to that Sky interview that she did and look at the comment section, the majority of them are just like, finally somebody telling the truth about Harry. And I'm just like, how did you
Yeah.
watch that interview and not ask any questions? But this is the thing, now
It's
that
what
they
they call
have
a
this
confirmation
idea.
bias. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they know that's exactly, I think you've said it a lot better than what I would have said it. Okay, thank you so much, Lightside. And before I let the others speak, someone said, oh, here we go. Oh, Maggie. Wonder why Sky News has deleted the interview. So Sky News hasn't deleted the interview, at least not on their channel. It's still there. The Guardian deleted it from their outlet online. I don't know why they chose to do that, but that's the only place that I've seen it deleted. It's still very much on the Sky News channel with over 500,000 views. Okay, I will go to phone calls now. YM Droid, you can go first.
Sorry, if you yeah, I'm kind of on the move. Just had to come and check on something. So if you want to go to the next one, I'll be back then.
Okay, lovely. Rahini?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Rahini. How you doing?
My blood is boiling.
Yeah.
My blood is boiling. You know, so the first thing that strikes me is you see when Black people are silent, right? When it comes to defending, you should pay attention because she is I don't know where she's from, South Africa or England. She's the new Justice Smollett. Right, I remember Dave Chappelle saying, Black people were supporting him with our silence because we knew he was lying, right? And we know that she is lying. We know it is liar, hands on fire. We are very much aware that her truths do not make sense. And you know what? Listen, her mentioning Meghan, I believe that was something she had to do to be on Sky News. Because let's be realistic, Meghan literally has no part in Sentebale other than supporting her husband, who was literally an athlete. Because I know the athletes want their wives to stand on the sideline and cheer for their husband. But I'm pretty so listen, this is not a non-story. If she said, you know what, I probably wasn't coming, it's obvious that maybe the day before Harry said, please baby, I want you to be there. So if your husband tells you that you have to come, that's how this works. So this is a non-story, but she needed to find a way to put her in, because this scandal was not the thing is, they cannot bash Harry's image because they want him to come back. Do you understand? They want him to come back, right? So, and the idea of trying to bash his image is not the point. The point is to bash Meghan's image, and Meghan literally have no parts of this. So how do you bring him in? How do you bring her in, saying that she brought a famous friend, probably with a very large check, to our celebrity event, and you were upset for what? Why were you upset? I'm trying to figure this out. You're not making any sense, right? I think I sent you a voice note with my thoughts. I'm wondering if the donors that she claimed left were not donors that were attached to the royal family, that were the remnants of the ties to the royal family, and they left. And my question to her would have been, so what exactly did they want him to do? To leave his wife and move back to England? Because you're not making any sense to me. You're really not. Like, what did you want him to do? Because that if you're upset that he left and moved away, and we know it was him because he said so. Meghan didn't want to leave. This was his decision. So he was supposed to divorce his wife and leave his children and become a deadbeat like the rest of them and come back to make some donors happy. More importantly, these donors seem to be inconsequential because while they're gone, Sentebale is still earning money. So how much money did they really lose? Do you know what I'm saying? How much money? And it seemed the only common denominator in Sentebale's lack of donations is you. Is you. You're the only person that you're the common denominator in the situation here. You came in and suddenly Sentebale is no longer getting that profit. But I might be a little rogue, right? Might be a little rogue. But I believe the Sussex squad has probably donated more than $200,000 to Sentebale,
Yeah,
which would
or
make us
donated a lot.
a current donor, which means that we have the right
Yes.
to demand an external forensic audit based on British law. Now, if we do that, because I think the lady that organized, I think it's a lady, if I'm wrong, correct me, that I think it's Sussex Squad Events that organizes the fundraisers. I think she can do that on our behalf. Somebody get her email and ask. Now, of course, we'd be kind of blindsiding Prince Harry, but maybe tell him beforehand, listen, we need you to be aggressive because I believe that with what Meghan has coming up, this is probably why they're silent because they don't want they're trying to minimize the press around this craziness to focus on Meghan. So they're like, okay, let's just be quiet, let the launch go off without a hitch, right? Tomorrow, and then maybe later down the line, we could
Yeah.
talk about it because it would be a real shame to watch just charity falter because of the
Yeah.
impact it has had. It's really, really sad, and it's boiling my blood because we could tell that this is no offense to my African friends, but this reeks of the Nigerian prince scams. I'm sorry, it reeks of it. It's really, really sad, and I think she's a criminal. And allegedly, that's my opinion. But I believe that the donors, I don't know, could we get in touch with these donors, ask them, hey, ask questions because this don't seem right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, thank you so much for your input, Rahini. Yeah, I wouldn't personally want to reach out to anyone. On your statement about the Sussex Squad being donors, I mean, collectively, we literally are a donor. That's actually not something that I thought about. And yes, we have raised tens of thousands. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to take it as far as taking any kind of action, but I hope that when they write articles like this, and I'm sure I think that Sophie's probably, I don't know, nudged somebody, or whoever is backing her has nudged somebody at the Daily Fail go after the Sussex squad. You need to remember that we are also a donor, and a large one, and a lot of the squad on Twitter have been saying that they've stopped their donations until further notice. Okay, so next I wanted to bring up Mina, and then we'll see if YM Joy is ready. Hey Mina, thank you for waiting patiently.
Oh, thanks. Hi. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Because I know the last time I tried, I was having some problems, so I just want to check to be sure. Okay, I'm gonna do my best not to cuss.
Yes, please do. I'll get demonetized.
Okay. I know. I'm just letting you know. Okay, so when all of this had happened, I'm thinking to myself, um, okay, so you only talking about Prince Harry and not Prince Say So, because he's also a founder too. So if you were going to be having problems with a co-founder, wouldn't that make sense for you to have problems with both of them? And also, you working and bringing along with Ian, what's that man's name? Ian somebody, who was a trustee for Prince William. Yeah, that was totally suspicious, and very suspect. So yeah, this got something to do with Prince William and his minions, and like Rohini said, it gives off an African scheme. Sad to say, I was trying not to be offensive, but that's what it gives. And if that's the case, if I was Prince Harry and Prince Say So, I would sue her. And yeah, it's just a hot mess.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mina.
You're welcome.
Okay. YM Droid.
Business.
Ready now?
Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah. Oh, by the way, YM Droid. I was told that calling Sophie Hammerhead was childish, and I actually do agree with this. It's very childish to call her Sophie Hammerhead. So now I'm going to be calling her Sophie was hammered in the head, which is why she's acting like a full Chandauka, because it refers more to her behavior. She's
Then
behaving
her
like
appearance as
somebody
a
who was
hammerhead shark.
hammered in
Okay.
the head. Yes. So
Okay.
if we can just stick to referring to her behavior as someone who behaves as someone who's been hammered in the head and not her appearance. Thank you.
So would Sophie Grifter be appropriate?
Sophie Grifter's fine.
Okay. All right. So Sophie Grifter, this big old grifter, or little grifter, she's not that big, but she sure is pulling off a scam. I agree, and I was listening to Sherry and Sade, who gave her far more grace than I think that I ever could. And I admire her for that, because before she went in on her, she tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, well, we haven't heard her story. After that Sky News interview, I don't think that there is a benefit that is hiding under any doubt that anyone could possibly find. Just like Williams lost hair. And believe me, I think that the two things are connected, because the moment that I heard the mission statement reframed as supporting climate, and she talked about the HIV help and the founding mission of the charity as being something that was just, oh, well, it's under control now. It is a miracle of science, but these are still very poor people who can't necessarily afford to keep up with the medication if they don't have that assistance. And to shift it to something that is more in line with William's thing in Africa, his declared provenance, that just struck me as so suspicious. And looking at Sophie Grifter when she's trying to grift her way up in between Harry and Meghan and make it everything just all about her, I 100% agreed when I heard Tyrion say, girl, it was never going to be you. And I feel like someone needs to embroider that on a pillow, give it to her, make one for William too. Same phrase and everything. Girl, it was never going to be you. Because both of them are acting like jealous, petty, bitter Bettys who are just so upset that Meghan got their man. And I include William in that too. He is acting like a scorned lover more than a future leader of anything. And so is she. She decided that, oh, it was going to be, I'm going to come in here and turn this thing around. And honestly, the fact that it was making money before you got there, I don't know what she thought she was exactly going to turn around, except just turn around into a much bigger grift that paid her out. And I just hope that as this thing winds its way through whatever tribunals and whatever processes they have set up to investigate, that becomes even more clear. And I think Sophie Grifter is going to, I don't think that she's ever going to find, certainly not a charitable organization, but probably any organization, aside from Earthshot, maybe they want to put her in charge or something, to ever take a chance on her again. Because I think when you, after the salaciousness of it, which she obviously tried for, by focusing things on Harry and Meghan when they really had absolutely nothing to do with it. And I think even when it comes to the day-to-day operations, I wouldn't be surprised to learn if they didn't have direct involvement in how the money was allocated specifically, or approving these things. That's what the board of trustees generally is for, to make those decisions. So to alienate the people who are bringing in the checks and make it seem like they were the cause of all of these problems and blah, 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 when it gets down to the black and white and they say, so now that you got rid of the toxic influence of Harry and Meghan, how much money did you raise? How much money were you able to bring in? How much money did the consultants? Where was their strategy? and how much money did changing to their strategy bring in? And when that number starts with a negative, this, like I said, this lady is over. This lady is done. Grab a fork, stick it in her. She is done and done and dusted, because there is no way that even, I think, even the weird derangers who have just a stick up their bum and a bee in their bonnet would ever take a chance on working with this lady. And I definitely strongly suspect that somebody from Williams' camp had a role in this, because this is exactly the type of nutty harebrained scheme that they would dream up, and they were just waiting for the perfect person who was dim enough to think that they could pull it off, to go in there and execute it. But yeah, girl, not you. It was never
it's never
you.
gonna be you.
It was never going to be you, and it is definitely not you now. So, as Baron likes to play from that clip, hey girl, sit down.
That exactly. Thank you so much, Wyatt Droid. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good one, all.
Okay. Just wanted to. What was the comment? Yeah, Carmen actually left a very good comment. She said, "Scheme has no color. She is just a greedy, evil, deceitful person, and they come in all shades." That is very, very true. Just be careful not to reinforce certain stereotypes. Okay. Next, Lauren, I will let you go next.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm actually doing quite well. So thank you for that question.
Are you gonna get, okay, before we get onto the drama, are you gonna get
Mhm.
yourself some as ever? What are you gonna get?
Of course. Of course. I mean, I think that's a foregone conclusion. And I mean, if jam started at all, then I mean, why not begin at the beginning? So yeah, definitely. Also, I just love seeing people go bananas over flower sprinkles. Like, this is the most whimsical stuff I have ever seen as far as like public conversation. Like, grown men and children and women alike are all like, we want flower sprinkles. And it's very cute.
Yeah.
It's really adorable. I love it. Yeah. So I guess I have to say, okay, so the real reason I called in was because I just needed it to be known how much the commentary has been cracking me up. I know that it's serious, but as someone who tries to lean toward levity, it's hilarious. Like, Mina saying like, I'm gonna try not to cuss was somehow very, very, very hilarious. And we got to appreciate YM Droid. So, you know, I think brilliant point made by Lightside regarding the fact that, you know, the squad are major donors. They are massive, and I say they, but like, it's a we. Have all contributed, and because of the quality, you know, typically when people vote with their dollars, it's about, you know, something they believe in, something they trust. You don't just donate with, you know, this intention of without care, right? So I think it's very, actually quite normal and wonderful that so many of the squad have kind of stepped in and are in this conversation regarding getting clarity and truth about what's going on with Sentebale. And it doesn't really seem in character for there to be some terrible harassment claim, and it is quite dog whistly, and Lightside brought that up, and I think that's a very great point as well. It's using very loaded language in a circumstance where, I mean, it would really just be, you know, his word, her word. Yeah, there might be an email here or there, but again, this use of emails as if, you know, or written message it does scream the old school tactics, like what we saw when Harry and Meghan were still, you know, working royals. It's always a written word and a note somewhere. I mean, it feels very high school.
But you
very.
never actually see it. And to make such strong allegations and then say that you have the receipts, okay, well then show
Mhm.
the receipts.
Exactly, exactly. If the receipts are there, then I mean that's the one thing as well that you do very well, Anne, and that the squad does. It's presenting the receipts. If there are facts and sheets, you will get the facts, and you will see the sheets. And so I think he was right to with Prince Seiso step down as far as like just showing his support. I think that's what you do with someone who you've called your brother, and it's been what 20 years that they've been working on this charity together. Like this, I can't imagine how it would feel. I mean, it is a hostile takeover, and I wrote a comment, and I don't know if anyone remembers this slightly viral TikTok that went around. But basically, the song is "We're living in a hostile government takeover." Well, that's kind of what's happening. It does come across like it's just
Yeah.
unnecessarily seedy. And my last point is again really a kudos to something you said, Anne, which is very often I think film tends to skew our perspective because we like to create villains who are smart in our heads. Um,
Mm,
but often scam artists are they're low hanging fruit, underhanded but not intelligent. Just they're not crafty. They just do things you would
mm,
expect no one to do because they don't really
yeah.
have the same scruples. But I think thought you brought up a great point with that because I think it's sometimes we put too much behind.
Hmm.
We put too much into people who do underhanded things. Like they're not that smart. They're
Yeah.
just lawless.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's the perfect way to put it. Thank you so much, Lauren.
well, thank you for having me in.
No, always appreciate having you up, and I can't wait to hear your review of whatever it is you buy from As Ever.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be wonderful. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all going to be sharing our thoughts on that jam. All right.
For sure. Bye. Okay. Next, so I'm gonna do Shay and then Fatu, Marta, and then Karen, and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Shay. Thank you for waiting. Shay, you there? Okay, Shay might be having some sound issues, so I'll go to Fatima. Oh
You hear
no, you
me?
there?
Can you
Yeah,
hear
I can
me?
hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now,
Oh,
Shay. How
okay.
are you?
I didn't know if I. Hi, this is my first time doing this, so I've never done it before.
Oh,
But hello, hi everybody. I just want to remind everybody.
Sorry, where are you calling
Huh?
in from, Shay? Where are you calling in
Oh,
from?
I'm calling in from Los Angeles, California.
Oh,
That's where
lovely.
I am. We're cold out here right
Lovely.
now. The wind is blowing our wigs off, but we're holding on tight to them.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to remind everyone that because I had to get to this place too where uh, I had to stop being so angry and frustrated, and I have to remember what side I'm on, and it's always the winning side. You have to
Yeah.
remember these people are they've been winning so much, and they're going to continue to win. And
Yeah.
even once this is all over with, the only one who's going to still be standing is we already know who, and that's going to be Harry. And the only reason why is because the truth is on his side. And when the truth comes out, there's nothing else that anybody can do. The only one who will hire her, of course, will be William, because he put her in that position. I believe that. But I can't stress enough that we're on the winning side of this, and
Yeah.
it's so sad that something that they've worked for so long, it has all this unnecessary controversy because what this young lady, and I'm being very, very nice in saying that because I want to say more, but what she doesn't realize is you're not just getting back at Harry for whatever William wants, but you are devastating lives. People
Yeah.
that really need this charity, that grew up under this charity, and this charity has helped them out so much, and they know these people. They knew these people before you came along.
Hmm.
They a lot of these people they really rallied around. and they needed the help, and it was a call for it, and they answered the call.
Yeah.
And those are the people that she's hurting. And the sad thing is, instead of saying, you know what, let me put my ego aside, because the people, that's who count. I have to get him down because I have to take them down a peg or two. Well, you're not taking down Harry and Meghan a peg or two. Let's be real. You're taking down innocent people that rely on this and need this, and it's going to need this in the future. You're taking away from the people. And that's what is really hurtful, is that the people is going to suffer, and they're suffering now. And it's so unnecessary, because you have to have your got you. But that's what heartless people do. They go
Yeah.
after people, and it doesn't matter to them who they hurt in the end, as long as they get to the person that they're trying to get to. But
Yeah.
it's sad that she doesn't. Well, she does. She realizes it. She's not stupid. She's dumb in a lot of ways, where you you did this to somebody who didn't do a darn thing to you, but believed in you and put you in a very
Yeah.
in a position. But you're doing this to people who really and truly don't have anything. And while you have a bed to sleep in, and clothes on your back, and food in your refrigerator, a lot of these people are suffering and need this charity. And because of you, it could be all taken away from them.
Yeah.
That's the
Very
but
heartbreaking.
in the end, I really truly believe that it's going to be a turnaround. Maybe not with Sentebale. Like, I believe that they're going to say, you know what? Do what you will with that crap. We're going to do something else. We're going to have another charity, because the people is what matter,
Mm-hmm.
not this woman or William or anybody else. The people is what matter,
Yeah.
and this is who we serve. And I
Yeah.
believe that they're going to say, forget it. We're going to start a new charity, and we're going to start all over. We've done it once. We can do it again.
Again. Yeah.
And I believe
Yeah.
that they're going to do it again. But unfortunately, while they're doing this, a lot of people will suffer.
Yeah.
And that's what this horribly selfish woman does not
That's dark.
understand or get.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I wanted to say. But remember, even in our anger, remember what side we're on. These people, they have been doing excellent. They've been doing so well. They have been winning. They've been going out there and living great lives and doing important things. And they'll continue to do so. This is just a
Yeah.
little hiccup. This is just a little
100%.
hiccup.
Thank you so
We're
much.
gonna come back stronger. So that's
100%.
all I wanted to say.
All
Thank you
right.
so much
Thank
for
you
letting
so.
me speak.
No, thank you so much for coming up. The first time, you did amazing. Thank
Yes, it's
you.
my first time. All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Okay, next, Fatimata. Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's been a while, Fatimata. How are you?
Yes, I got a new job and a little busy. But
Fantastic.
I can tell I will tell you I am pissed off by this. I understand what the last caller is saying, let's calm down, but for me, all of the Prince Harry charities, this one is the one that I was most invested.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's in Africa. I'm not from that side of Africa, but I know the general problem that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what he was doing, how helpful that is. It might not cover 100%, but we also have to remember these children, most of them are orphan. They don't have parents. Orphans, I'm sorry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking French. They don't have parents, so not only they need the care, but they need also the protection. I mean, like against predators, against people who might use them for something else because they don't have anybody standing up for them. I
Mm-hmm.
from there, and I know the government not don't protect people like that always. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
assume anything. I'm not from that side. I am from the other side of Africa, but I know the general feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, somebody who's from Africa, who knows exactly what's going on, for her to do that, if she was disrupting to make it better, I'll go, okay, what can you do? But she's ruining it. Like, she is working really hard, not even, oh, I made a mistake. No, I think her mission was to ruin this charity. That's why I believe somebody's behind this. They try with African parts to ruin Prince Harry's reputation.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
didn't go anywhere. And now, since then, I'm starting to think about all the people who have been stepping down. His friend who's been working with him in the IG and the investigate who's been stepping down. I know he's moving out to something else, but I'm starting to get little nervous here that they're trying to ruin this is his legacy. And
Yeah.
on top of that, this is what he started when he was a teenager. I think he was teenager or early 20s. Most of us who grew up in Africa, we didn't care about Prince or whatever. We know him from this. I was introduced to him through this, like reading a small journal from my country, like talking about him. That's the highlight they did about it, like what he was doing there. And for this woman to come and just, oh, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna be a selfish woman. I wish her all the worst. I'm not joking. I hope she understands one day when she get her head together that what she's doing to those people, to those children, the children who really need this, the children who need that protection, not just for medication or where to sleep, the children who need the weight of Princess and Prince Harry, because there's a weight on that. People will not just will be hesitant in abusing them. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. This is so many. There are so many layers to this, and she's coming in. The charity has been going strong for 19 years. We were gonna celebrate the 20 years. She was appointed
to do it now.
2023. What has she done since then? And also, when they started announcing, oh, we're going to be more focused in Africa, I go, oh, no, let's not do that. Because there are many NGOs that are in Africa don't have any regulation. So they can be used for whatever. I don't want to sit here bad mouth, but I know a little bit the situation. So it's better for
it's for some people it is literally a business, not necessarily about charity.
Yes, and his Prince has been working hard with his friend, and those trustees who have been with them from the beginning. All of them have been working there for free. They don't get paid. You don't get paid for this type of job. You have to have your own career, your own life. It might help you elevate your resume, but you're not there to make money. You have to understand that before you get in. If you don't have a job, don't get into that type of stuff. You have to be a selfless person. She is the opposite of that.
No, she's an accolade collector. Oh, Fatimata, are you still there? Fatimata? Okay, I think yeah. Fatimata, are you there?
Oh.
Okay. Sorry about that, but you made very, very good points. And thank you so much. I can hear and understand your frustration. I think many people do feel the same, and you were right about the fact that it's just so selfish what she's doing. Okay, we're gonna go to TCC Son and Karen, but I'm afraid I'm only gonna give you 3-4 minutes each just because it's getting very, very late in the UK and I've had a very, very long day, but I did still want to give you a chance to speak. Okay, TCC and then Karen, and then we'll finish with Lightside. Thank you so much, Fatimata. Okay. TCC, you can speak.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can, but I need you to switch off your camera is on. So switch off your camera. Okay, your camera's okay. Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. I can't believe you are on this late. I'm surprised. I popped on my TV. I said, are you kidding me? And it's on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us. And thanks for taking my call. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you
I
too.
I wanted to pop in. I want to talk very, very fast because I know you don't want to stay on. There's others that's behind me. I wanted to throw out there that not to for us. I think she was a plant. I think she was sorted out because of her background with hostile takeovers, and she was familiar with this. And I think somebody said they promised her, my opinion, that you do this, we'll do that. That's what I feel, because as soon as she got in there, things started rapidly
Mhm.
changing left and right. She already had an insight to how the actual organization worked anyway, because she was there for so long and then she left. She
Mhm.
came back. I do believe, I got these little notes here. I do
Mhm.
believe that she was a plant because
Yeah.
as we all know, Sister Squad is huge, but Sister Squad is kind of full. It's carried by a lot of black women. And I get the impression that somebody was under the impression that we wouldn't come after our own.
Yeah.
Okay. And they don't even realize, they don't understand the culture that sometimes when we're out there, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but when, black women are out there within reason, they kind of represent all of us. And it's, some people
Mhm.
don't realize that. So, needless to say, if you're out there and you're looking like a con artist and a thief,
Mhm.
we're going to get you. And I think there
And
was a
she's
little.
stealing from, and that's a very good point you've just made. I think
Mhm.
they didn't expect it, but she's stealing from black children.
She's stealing
So,
from babies. Are you serious right now? You know,
yeah.
most of us is very maternal, whether we have children or not, you know?
Yeah.
And here you go. Oh, so you didn't think we would come after her, and I kind of sit there and say, okay, so when she started talking and she started throwing out that archetype, a woman against a woman, and then a lot of other people, because that's a comfort zone. Everybody knows what that means, even though a lot of us, we don't like it. But it is definitely a thing of, oh, he mistreated me this way, he mistreated me that way, archetype, angry black woman, she's this, a woman against woman, that I felt as though use this and they will back up off of you. You know what I mean? Throw that out there, throw her name out there. So they'll, before you know it, it'll be them trying to defend you against her and they won't realize that you're a thief. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the main objective is to mess with Prince Harry and Prince Cecil's legacy. That's the main
Mhm.
objective, because all the royal charities, they all fail. All of them fail. The only one that's got it going on is Prince Harry. All the rest of them, they go in there, they shake hands, boom, they disappear 2 or 3 years later. You don't hear nothing about the charity. And I think
Yeah.
that's a, you know what I mean? That's an issue, because Sentebale is what, 20 years going strong. You show up in 23 and here we are at 25, sitting up here having to drag you through the streets via Africa, London, United States of America, because I'm in Atlanta. I could tap dance on her if I was close to her. I think I could really go in for it. But I think that's the main objective, is to take it, destroy it, and then blame Prince Harry and Prince Cecil
Mm.
and destroy their legacy. And they're thinking, well, you know what? She's a woman of color. She's a black woman. Sussex Squad won't take her down. But I think something she missed, that she wasn't paying attention, because she's walking around trying to get all these titles, and then I'm going to get off, that she forgot how the British media works. You really
Yeah.
forgot how it works, okay? Because
Mhm.
whether they like Harry or not, the last thing they're going to do, and please forgive me, about that, the last thing they're going to do is let a black person take him down. I mean, look in the past, the godmother, she showed out on the beautiful black woman that was there. They took her down. They're
Mm.
trying to do the same thing with Megan for 8 years. They're trying to take her down. And then here you come trying to take down Harry. I think she just thought, well, no, no, no. We throw her out there in the front. Sister Squad won't take her down. But they don't understand.
Yeah,
They
there's
understand.
layers to it. There's layers to it.
It is so many layers to it. So I'm not going to hold you. I know there's others behind, but thank you for allowing me to come up and just hear my side. But please, everyone, don't forget this is not her against Megan. This is not her trying to steal Harry. None of that. None of that. That's the stereotypical thing. She's the thief and she's been hired to steal. Watch.
Okay.
Same thing. A
Thank
year
you
from
so
now, she
much.
be getting the title. Watch. Just
Thank you
saying.
so much, dude.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Bye
You
bye.
too.
All right, light side, if you can um help us wrap this up. Well, before I go to light side, first of all, thank you everyone. This is the first time I think I've had 1,000+ people in a live for a long time. I can't actually remember the last time I had 1,000+ people in a live, so that is amazing. Hit that thumbs up button, please, before you leave. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and turn on notifications so you can get them when I start a podcast. Thank you also to Kat Harlem. You are never late. You can always join the replay gang for your super sticker. And also, I think somebody oh yeah, Connie. Thank you so much, Connie, for your super sticker, and also VM for your PayPal. Appreciate you as always. And listen, Megan's launch is coming. I'm gonna try my darn hardest tomorrow, unless something really major comes up with this whole Sophie nonsense, to actually do a blackout tomorrow and not talk about her tomorrow. Just focus on as ever. I think at least just one day when we can focus on the joy. So unless something really significant comes out, I'm not going to talk about this tomorrow. We'll just talk about the brand. We'll have a celebration. We will, drink our tea and just enjoy what the Unreal Mafia and the tabloids tried to deny us and Megan of. Okay, light side, take us out.
Well, good job for carrying the podcast for over an hour and a half. I'm sure it's very late there and you're
Yeah.
exhausted. You're pulling some barren time, huh? You're on barren time. Yeah, look, we can keep talking about this. There's so many things we could break down. I'm sure we'll have opportunities later on to do it. The cast is already gone for so long, but I want to send a huge appreciation for all the listeners that were able to join us this evening. And everyone in the comment section that we're having discussions with each other and actually providing input, and to all the callers. I saw so many names that I haven't seen in such a long time. I'm really happy to see them. Um, People I forgot about, So I think that the one thing I know about the Sussex Squad and about the community that you have here on your podcast is that whenever we see something or we smell a rat, we're going to talk
Yeah.
about it. And we smelled one.
Yeah.
So I think that, you don't have all of us, they can say whatever they want about us, quote unquote, being bullies and everything else, and us um, you know, being a bad look for the Sussex organization. If you know us for who we are and what we represent, for all the good that we've done throughout the community on social media platforms and what we continue to do, you know that the one thing we do not stand for is unjust situations and things that are
Yeah.
just not fair. And I think to the core, a lot of us just doesn't feel that we don't feel like this is a situation that
Mm.
is fair. I feel like something is off, and I think the truth will
Yeah.
come out. And we're going to be here to witness all of it. Um, Bad behavior and bad optics and just bad handling, unprofessional bad handling of this entire situation is a bad look overall. And you can't expect a bunch of independently minded folks to look at it and not have criticism. And that's what it comes down to. So, with that being said, it's getting late here for me also, but I am looking forward, just leaving on a positive note, I'm really looking forward to seeing Megan's launch. Our girl is going to kill it. Her stuff is going to get sold out all because of you guys. And all I got to say is I better get some jam, okay? I'm coming after anybody I find out has jam and I don't have jam. Just kidding.
And
But yeah,
I'm also wondering, just before you finish, I'm also
yeah.
wondering, do you think that they'll have like an influencer event like planned for tomorrow or next week, and we'll see some like cute pictures and
I
who
mean,
knows?
I think that that would be an excellent way to do a compilation of people who may have had opportunities to, do a little taste test. You know what I think
Yeah.
would be a really good idea, because I guarantee you people are going to be posting this in social media, just like how they posted the recipes that they made from her show. I think that you're going to have a lot of people discussing the products when they get it, and being on TikTok, on Twitter, whatever social media platform they use. And one of the amazing things that could happen is if Megan actually, hint, hint, hey, like just a little hint here, a little business idea. Maybe if she kind of showcases some of her supporters, like with her products, showing
Yeah,
that people are
yeah.
really using them.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some reposting because she already started doing that with the with Love Megan.
Yeah, we saw that too. Yeah. I'm super excited. I'm all about positivity, and I feel I need this energy like going through me, just to
Yeah,
kind of like, revive and keep me going. It's what a lot of us need right now. So I just I think I can speak to a lot of people to say that this is a good thing for her. She's come so far, and I'm really proud to see this come to fruition. I can't wait to see what comes next.
for sure. Thank you so much, Lightside, for
Thank
contributing
you.
today. All right. So just a few things to end with. Thank you to Maureen, new member. Thank you to Foxy BRN1 for your donation. So much appreciated. It's very generous of you. Thank you, Connie, for being a new member. Um, Also thank you to Kadal50 for God bless you too. God bless you too. I hope you are blessed 5 times more for your generosity. And also to V Bram for your super sticker as well. Appreciate absolutely everyone for your time, for being here. So sorry for the delay. Me and Rahini, like I talked, the Squaddy Hooks folks who are meant to get your free items, I'm emailing you back tomorrow, and we'll get those ordered ASAP. So just look out for your email, please. And yeah, with that, I will end of light size words. Good night, everyone. Let's jam our way out. Indeed. Ciao, everyone.
La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol en la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama. Tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú